The Drop Book series, based on the writings of Luisa Piccarreta. A Drop in the Immense Sea of the Divine Will. Page 16. I reject my own will, and I ask to live in the divine will. This may be the most important sentence you will ever say in your life. With this statement, you are telling God that you don't want to use your will anymore, that you want to use His will. You want to return to the way Adam and Eve were before the fall. With this statement, you will start on a great adventure, an adventure that can take you to heaven on earth. The change will come very slowly, but if you stay faithful to this gift of living in the divine will, then God will do a great work in you. He will change you into the person He made you to be. Also, you and other people who have asked for this gift will help usher in the kingdom of God on earth as it is in heaven. You will be an important part of the fulfillment of the Our Father. Don't expect yourself to be perfect when you first start living in the divine will. It will take some time for the divine will to fill you completely with God's life. This is because you have been using your own human will for some time, and it would be very difficult to stop using your will with the snap of your fingers. Of course, God could do it instantly, but this is not His way. He wants us to grow slowly in this gift, so that you are not overwhelmed, and so that you appreciate the gift He's giving us out of His love. God knows that every one of us will make mistakes again and again, especially in the beginning. If you do something that you know is not in God's will, like fight with your friend or disobey your parents, don't be discouraged. Tell God you are sorry and go to confession if it is a serious sin. Tell God you are sorry and then just ask God for the gift again. He will be very happy to give it to you again and again and again and again. Just trust Him and keep asking for the gift. Don't waste a moment operating in your own human will. Now that you are living in the divine will, God will start to work on you. That was Jesus' promise to Luisa. Slowly but surely, God will purify you. Since you are living in His holy will, He will take out of you the sins and bad habits that don't belong to you. As He does this, He will start filling you up with His qualities. So out with the bad and in with the good. As an example, instead of developing a 10-step program to get rid of pride, you need only stay in the divine will and God will do the work. Soon you will find yourself sinning less and less. God is bringing you to holiness. At the same time, the work of purification is being done. God will do other things to prepare you for heaven. He will take worldly attitudes out of you. He will heal you from hurts from the past that still bother you. He will explain the things of heaven to you and take away the lies the world and Satan tell you. Sometimes these lessons can be difficult, but they are worth the trouble. because you are getting ready for heaven. Let's face it, no one in heaven believes money and things are important to be happy. You are now living in the divine will. Except for an occasional fall back into your human will, you are living the same life that Adam and Eve lived before they disobeyed God. Even though you may not feel any different, you have taken your first steps into heaven on earth. Jesus once said to Luisa, "Don't worry about being unable to do it, because I myself will teach you a little at a time how to do it." If you really want this gift, there is no way you can fail with Jesus as your teacher. As time goes on and the divine will grows in you, you will experience more and more, maybe even the miraculous. Near the end of her life, Luisa was able to raise her confessor from the dead because she didn't want to start all over with a new confessor. Maybe the birds will start landing on your shoulders like they did with St. Francis. But don't look for the miraculous. Your day-to-day acts in the divine will are more important. This is because these are now divine acts. Jesus himself has done them because you used God's will. Luisa had a hard time believing that her simple little acts were divine. Jesus explained that everything God does is divine. Even though an act may be little, it is still divine if it is done in the divine will. God made the heavens, but he also made the tiny seed. Your day in the divine will may seem very ordinary, but it is really extraordinary. When you first start living in the divine will, it may be helpful to call upon the divine will many times during the day, to do in whatever you are doing or about to do. This will be a reminder to you that the divine will is animating all your activities. You wash your face, you eat your lunch, you say your prayers, you do your schoolwork. All divine acts. As you grow in this gift, you will not have to remind yourself about the divine will because you will constantly be aware of the gift throughout the day. The divine will is filling you with its life. Eventually, you may not only be aware of, but be able to feel the divine will operating in you. Luisa reached the point in this divine life where she could actually feel Jesus lifting her arm. In the little house of Nazareth, the Blessed Mother's simple acts as she took care of Saint Joseph and Jesus were all divine acts. Now your home will become the little house of Nazareth as you start living the divine life as a gift from God, performing countless divine acts with every breath you take. A divine act is infinite. When a divine act is done on earth, it is like an explosion that radiates infinitely. All creation feels this explosion, and God is very pleased. These infinite divine acts spread out over all the people on earth, and God the Father sees our world more favorably. It was Mary's many acts in her life in the divine will that convinced God that the time was right to send his Son as the Messiah. It will be our many acts in the divine will that will prompt God to allow his kingdom to come on earth and fulfill the Our Father. Before the gift of living in the divine will was returned to us through Luisa, the saints could only do good and holy acts of love for God. These were not infinite and did not radiate over all creation, covering the fallen world. So you can see how important it is to stay in the divine will and not waste time and acts in the human will. Just as with the coming of the Messiah, the Father knows exactly how many acts he wants done before he allows the kingdom to come.